Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my Booktube channel. It is day 8 of Bookmas, so I will be telling you guys about all the books I wish I read this year. But before I get into that, the day after filming this, I will be graduating from college, so that's why I'm not wearing anything Christmassy. I'm wearing this alumni sweatshirt because I feel like I need to represent because I'm really excited. The first few books I have are books that I own, which means there's no excuse for me to not have read these by now. But the first one is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. And this one is told in verse, and it follows two girls, one from New York City and one from the Dominican Republic. And they find out that they are sisters after their father dies in a plane crash. And I also think that this book won Best Young Adult Fiction Book for the Goodreads Choice Awards. So that's another reason why I really need to read it. But I was hoping to get the audiobook for it so I could listen to it while following along because I feel like that would give me the best reading experience for a book told in verse. So I really need to find a way to get an audiobook because I haven't had a chance to do that yet. Next, we have The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, and this takes place in New Orleans in the late 1800s, and it's kind of like a thrilling murder mystery meets romance, which is pretty cool. It follows Celine, who joins this convent and starts falling in love with the city, but then all these girls' bodies keep being discovered, and she gets thrust into this long feud with the darkest creatures of the underworld. And the reason I haven't read this one yet is because it feels like an October-November read to me, but I read a few other books during that time and didn't get to this one, so I'm not sure when I will read this one because I'm not sure if I'll wait till next October, which feels like forever from now, but I definitely do want to read it still. The next one is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, which is book 2 in An Ember in the Ashes series. And for those of you that don't know, An Ember in the Ashes takes place in this empire where defiance is met with death. So when Laya's older brother is arrested for treason, she makes a deal with rebels that if she sneaks into the military academy to spy for them, they will help her free her brother. And while she's there, she bumps into Elias, who is one of the best in the military academy, but he is also secretly one of their most unwilling soldiers. So it follows both of their stories. It's told from dual perspectives, and it's really good, which is another reason why there's no excuse for me to not have read this, especially since the final book in the series came out this year, so I really need to get on it. My next two books are books that I feel like are Booktube staples. All the Booktubers I watch always talk about these, or I feel like everybody else has read these except for me. And the first one is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, which follows Kaz, who has been given this opportunity to do this deadly heist that could end up making him rich, so he puts together a team of people to help him. And I just really need to read it. I feel like everybody talks about it, and it's amazing. And even before Booktube, I feel like I noticed this book in stores and just have always wanted to pick it up, so I don't know why I haven't, but I need to. The other Booktube staple that I need to read is The Diviners by Libba Bray, which takes place in the 1920s in New York City, which sounds amazing. And it seems like a fantasy meets historical fiction meets murder mystery, and that's really all I know about it. And I also think the last book in the series came out this year as well, so that's another reason that I need to jump into this world. Now we are moving on to 2020 releases I wish I had a chance to read. And the first one is Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, which follows Amelia and Vittoria, two twin sisters who are witches. But one night Vittoria doesn't show up for dinner, so Amelia goes out looking for her and finds her desecrated body. And so Amelia ends up going on this adventure to avenge her sister and bumps into one of the princes of hell who claims to be there to help her, but Amelia's not really sure if she can trust him. And it just sounds amazing. It's another read that feels like it fits October, November, so because I didn't have a chance to get it then, I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but it sounds amazing and I definitely hope to pick it up. Next, we have Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer, which follows Prue, who one day wakes up with the ability to cast instant karma on anybody around her. And the only person it backfires for is Quint, who is her lab partner and her mortal enemy. And this one is one of the more lighthearted reads I still wish I read this year, but it sounds super cute, and I don't know, it just sounds really cute, so that's why I want to read it. The next one is Legendborn by Tracy Dion, and this is like a contemporary fantasy. After Bree's mother dies, she witnesses this magical act, and somebody tries to wipe it from her memory, but it ends up triggering these magical powers that she didn't know she had, and she ends up becoming a part of this secret society called Legendborn, and she learns that there's more to her mother's death than what was in the police report. And I also think I heard that there might be parts of like a King Arthur retelling mixed into this. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I saw that somewhere, so that's another cool element added to this. And the cover is beautiful, so that's another reason I want to pick this one up. Next, we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this follows Avery, who is this seemingly normal high school student until this billionaire dies and leaves her his fortune. Except she has never met him, and she has no idea why he left it to her. So in order to get her inheritance, she ends up having to move into the Hawthorne house with his family and 4 grandsons. And all the rooms in the house are kind of like little puzzles and not twisters, I don't know, little like brain teaser things. I don't know how to describe it, but some of the family members think she's a con woman, and other people just view this as the last puzzle that he left behind for people to figure out. So it seems kind of like a thriller, mystery, cool little brain twisted book, if that makes sense. The last book I wish I read this year is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and all I know about this book is that it takes place in 1920s Shanghai, and there's also this blood feud between gangs, and there's a monster lurking in the river, and that's really all I need to know. It sounds really cool. Oh, and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, so that's another cool element, and it just sounds amazing, and again, the cover, beautiful, so I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. Those are all the books I wish I had a chance to read this year. Bookmas Day 9, I will be talking about 2021 book releases and adaptations that I'm looking forward to, so stay tuned for that. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.